Alright guys, I thought probably looking at some of the feedback from what's happening in the group chat and whatnot, I thought probably now's about the right time to give you a bit more of a detailed explanation of how I do marking using Google Forms. So this is a sheet that I'm currently setting up for my fourth form where they're finding equations from graphs of quadratics. So for example, we have this quadratic here and we want to find the equation which best fits that. So I just made this on GeoGebra. There's another one I'm doing at the moment. I screenshotted it, saved it, and I've put it into my Google Forms, which is this one here. Okay, now, one of the bad things, I guess, about Google Forms, it's similar to Firefly, whereby you can't really put in like a mathematical equation. What you can do is put in pictures, though, so that's really good. So what I'm also doing at the same time, if I go here, is I've got this sheet here. Now these are going to be, I'm going to make it a multiple choice question because I think that's probably the best thing for them at the moment. And these are my answers A, B, C, and D. So I've also screenshotted, and you should see in my, hang on, where are we? In here, my folder, that these are my A, B, C, and D possible solutions. Okay, so I'm just give me a second. I'll show you how to input the answers. So first thing, I want to change my question from short answer to multiple choice. And here I'm going to go and add option. Now I'm going to write A, and with that you can see here, and if you go add all, it'll do A, B, C, D for you, nice and easy, make it a bit quicker. And then from here you just go add image, upload, and I put in my solution. Now, it is kind of quite time consuming, but I do find that the benefit of not really having to mark kind of definitely outweighs the fact that it is a little bit fiddly, kind of slightly hard to do this bit at the start. I usually only do about 10 questions per sheet, well that's an email, 10 questions per Google Forms because they do take a while to set up, and just of varying difficulties, and I find then that's more than sufficient. Okay, so here's my A, B, C, D. Now the next thing I'm going to do from here is I want to set up the whole form so that it'll self-mark. So if I go to settings at the top here, that wheel, you can see there's this option for quizzes. So in here I can make this a quiz, and that allows for auto grading. You can also put it in locked mode if you want, so they can't open any other tabs on their computer while they're doing it if you want, but you definitely don't need to do that. Now, then I'm going to go back here. I also want to change this so that kids can use other Google logins, because some of them prefer to use their actual Gmail accounts rather than Dauncy's. So I'm going to turn that off. Right now, if I save this, then if I come down here, if it goes to answer key, I'm going to make this worth 2 points, and then I just select which the correct answer is. So in this case, it's that one. It's x squared minus 3x, and I go done. And there it is, that's the correct solution. Okay, I'm just going to do a couple more questions and then I'm going to show you what it looks like once it's been marked and once someone's submitted it. Okay, just give me a second, I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. So I've made a couple more questions, only 2 more, but that's fine, that's a couple more. And I've sent it to myself. So again, you just send by going to the send button. I like to do the link and then go shorten URL and just send that link to the kids to do, but if I go on to, I've sent it to myself, and I'm using my Gmail account here to go through and do it. So what if I want to do is I can go through and I can select the right, I'll select some right, some wrong answers. So for this one we'll go x plus 3. For this one we'll go 2x. Now for this one there's actually 2 correct answers, so A and also B are both correct, and so students could select either of those, or they could select both. I might just actually change that so they can do both. Just give me a second. Okay, so if I want them to select, for example, for this one, if I want them to be able to select 2 answers, I just have to change this around a little bit. So, sorry, I've just got to get out of my answer feedback. So for this one, I'm going to change this, instead of being a multiple choice, I'm going to change it to checkboxes, which doesn't really change anything at all except that you have checkboxes instead of bubbles. But it allows you to do response validation, and that means that I can say I want them to select exactly, or say select at least, I'll say select exactly 2 solutions. Okay, so that means I have to tick 2 boxes in there. Same with this one here. I'm going to change that to a checkbox as well. And I'm also going to get them turn the response validation on and get them to select exactly 2 because there's 2 correct answers there. Okay, so from here, now if I'm just going to send this to myself, restart it again. Here we go, here's the form. So if I go through, so now I'm going to select, selecting an incorrect one for this one, so I'll go x plus 3, so B. Now for this second one, I can, I'm going to select 2x plus 10 and 2x squared plus 5x. And then for this one, I'm going to select a half x squared plus 4x and a half 2x. Okay, so now I'm going to submit this, and I should have got 1 out of 3. So it says your response has been recorded. I can view my score, and I can see I got 4 out of 6 points there. And if I go on to my original sheet that I was making, what I'll be able to see is that in here it says responses 1, and it'll go on, and it tells me this is my average score at the moment. It gives me all of these kind of things. I can look at the questions. I can look at individual things that people have put in. Okay, so I can look at that and see how I've gone. So I'll just show you, this is one that my first form are doing at the moment. So in here I've got 17 responses. So if I go back to the questions, I go to responses, I can see 17 people have done it. I can see that this is the range of scores I've got. So this is obviously what I'm concerned about here, but what people might have done is they might have done it or done it incorrectly and then redone it again later. So if I now go into individual, I can see that Oliver Leach, he has got 8 out of 8 there. Next one, Ollie Butterworth, he's got 6 out of 8. And Charlie McIntosh, see, he's got 0 out of 8, so he definitely needs to go through and do this again. And I can see with his answers, I mean, he's put N3 instead of 3N, and I can add in individual feedback and say here, Charlie, in algebra, the coefficient number always comes before the variable. Okay, and I can save it, and then that'll get sent to him, so he can see that individual feedback as well. Okay, so I've just pretty much been watching this in real time, checking whether students have got, whether they've done really badly like Charlie has here, or whether they've done all right. And then if they have done badly, I contact them straight away and say either, look, do it again, maybe have another watch of the video, or maybe we need to have an individual Teams chat just to see where you're going wrong. Okay, all right, I hope that was helpful. See you later, bye.